the word transfer means. Not even necessarily an art, just Derek. Change, okay. Brandon.
Like if you transfer energy from one outlet to another, like you're like taking it to another place.
You're taking it to another place. Excellent. She connected it to science. I like that. Yeah.
Change the way it looks.
Change the way it looks. All right. So if you transfer something, basically what you're doing is moving it from one place to another. Right. Another word for what we're doing is a transparency print. Right. If you look at my hands, I have a thin, like a small piece of clear transparency. What you're going to do is I've been very, very clear that I'm not asking right now for input unless I call on you. So if I have to say your name, it's going to be a phone call home. DeMarcus, what's up?
What's transparency?
Transparency is just a clear piece of plastic. It's like a plastic sheet. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to draw on these with markers, and then we're going to use it at like a stamp to print something. So if you guys can all look at the board, I'm going to do a demo so that you guys can kind of know what's going on, and then you'll have the whole rest of the period to practice. While I'm doing this, if you talk, you are getting a violation in a phone call home because I'm tired of being interrupted. BK's still back in this hallway. I can ask him to come in. Alright, so what each person is going to get is a piece of this transparency. It's probably hard to see on the board because it's clear, but it's right here. You're going to get a transparency. You're going to get some paper. Everybody's going to get a paper towel, and every table is going to get a cup of water. All right. So the first thing you got to do, and I'm just going to do this real quick, so it's going to be a little bit sloppy. Yours is going to look nice and more polished. Is you're going to draw whatever you want, right, on this transparency, and we're using washable marker. All right.
Come on, baby.
So.
Need help?
You can draw whatever you want as long as it's appropriate, obviously. Alright, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper, and I've got a paper towel that I'm going to get wet and squeeze it out. You don't want it. Stop. Okay. You are not going to come in my room and cause a scene. You're going to take your paper towel and kind of squeeze it out. You want it wet but not soaking wet. Then you're going to wipe your paper with the paper towel so that your paper is wet. All right, again, wet but not soaking wet. Then what you're going to do is take your print, all right, and you're going to put it like this and kind of pat it down like that. Now, because I did this, DeMarcus, you have a violation. Because I did this with washable marker on plastic and then got the paper wet, what's going to happen when I pull this piece of plastic off?
It's gonna look weird. It's gonna look like watercolor.
Ooh, there you go.
That's
right. So what you see here is that it's not like a super crisp line. You know, it kind of has a rough texture. It kind of bleeds a little bit. So keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to do something extremely precise. All right, but you can make some really cool things. When you get done with one, then you can wipe off your paper and then dry it. And then one thing I want to show you guys before you get started, when you do something, when you print it, everything is going to be backwards because what you're doing is just leaving the reflection, like the imprint, on the paper. So if you are going to write something, so for example, my name, instead of starting O-W-E-N, I'm going to put it the O on the right side. Now, O is the same back and front, so that doesn't change anything. W is the same back and front. but my E gets written backwards, and my N gets written backwards.
You're good.
I can check that by flipping it over and see. So then, when I print this, it'll print correctly. All right. So
I see.
it doesn't bother me if you accidentally print something backwards, because the whole point of today, you're going to take your work with you. It's just an experimentation day. How you're going to get a grade, at the end of the day, Ms. Goff and I are going to sit down and go through the grade book and say, okay, this person, did you see them trying some things? If you did it, if you were practicing, if you were playing around, trying some different things, you get an A. If you weren't, you get a 0. All right? So, what every person's going to get, every one of you is going to get one of the transparencies. Every table already has markers. We'll put a stack of this paper. It's more paper than you're going to need, so just don't waste it. All right? You do not have permission to get up. You do not have permission to be hollering. Okay? Be calm. Be productive. Have a good period. All right? So right now, we'll get everything passed out, and you guys can get started. Ms. Goff's bringing around water. When you get this, if it still has writing on it from my last class and they didn't like wipe it off well enough, you can just wipe it off and dry it.
Yeah, water.
If you're in here for bands, you can make one too.
Oh, thank you.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's just like one. Katie, I'd like you to go over the rest. You're talking
Why is it volley?
because you were talking. I'm gonna think you were the only one, but when I looked up, you were the one talking.
I was looking back. Where'd it go?
Yesterday you came.
That'd be great.
Significant smell of toxic. Not toxic. Oh, that's because I got water down on my face. You know what iodine is?
Oh, yeah. That's like my brother. So you were for that?
I got that baby out.
And you get a money?
Seriously?
The big boy. No, the one.
Oh, here's me.
Hi, Deshaun.
Alright guys, so remember, your marker is going on your transparency, not your paper. And then you get the paper right back.
What?
He likes you. No, I just like Toby. What you say?
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
What you say? What you say? No, I just heard it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you have.
Oh, yeah. She said yeah.
I'll try to put your stuff not on the table.
I like my stuff.
I like my Oh, you can't have me. That's my dad looks like a bear.
I see your dad. He looks like Hugh Jackman. Everyone thinks my dad. Everyone thinks my dad's black.
No.
Wait.